Hello and welcome to part 2 of building R2D2 in a weekend, and in this quick video hopefully we're going to show you how we can get this dome controlling. So this should be fairly quick. I'm just going to mount the servo from underneath. Okay, that's the servo inside the mount. Okay, so let's just put a little bit of glue onto this. Okay, there we go, there's a servo mounted. So the next thing we need to do is add an extra set of pins to this little receiver board so we can hook up our dome servo. There we go, new 3 pins, bridge the wire over to the servo pin, over to the ESP pin, should be ready to go. I've quickly plugged all the wires in, just turning it on. Yep, seems to be good to go. Now I forgot to calibrate that servo, but unfortunately it seems to be just fine. So our next task is to add 2 extra buttons so that we can control the dome and maybe a sound effect in the next video. But either way I'm going to add 2 new buttons. Okay, so just to go through what I just did there on the real breadboard is I've added a couple more switches. And I've just added the connection, so the ground and the actual GPIO control. So let's have a quick look. So I've just connected another ground. Now you may have noticed I did actually make a couple of changes by having one ground that connects to there. So then this rail becomes a ground rail and it can feed this left hand side of the breadboard. It was just because I ran out of slots. So now I can just draw this one up to here, and because I'd now freed one of these up, I was able to double it up so I could connect that one up as well. Hope that sort of makes sense, but it's what happened when I was really doing it. So now, and then the connection, I've just gone from the other side of the pin to D5, and this pin I've gone to D1 to make sure I'm on the right one, to D1. There we go. So that's how the connections. Okay, so before I go any further with hooking it all up and making sure it does work, I do want to do one more thing, which is I want to test this little switchboard, make sure we've not made any mistakes, make sure that this GPIO is functioning the way we expect it to. So if I load up our version 1 of the code, so there's our version 1 where we were just testing the switches in the last lesson. So I'm just going to start by copying and pasting our first 2 lines of code, but changing this to dome motor, so DM, and the pin, which I believe was D5. And then this is going to be our sound, which again will come in another video, and that's going to be on our D1 pin. I can just come down, grab these 2, and paste, so again, DM, SMD, and then finally copy these 2 lines of code. Again, DM, SMD for our pins, and now the output message, dome motor, and sound. So we can now just test to make sure we have got the GPIO behaving the way we expect it to. Let's just copy that across. I'll check my port numbers. Yep, port's fine. Okay, the question mark's just a bit of junk data on the USB port. Let's have a look. Good, we've got our right button, right forward. left forward, left backwards, dome control, and sound. So we've got our controller ready to go. So now we can transplant this code over into the actual transmitter code. So here's our transmitter code from the last lesson. I'm just going to copy and paste these across. Shouldn't be a big deal, I hope. So there's the sound controls, well, dome controls. As you know, we've still got the dome motor involved. We've not got the sound just yet. I'm going to come down here, input pull-ups. Let's copy those across. Indentation doesn't matter, other than it irritates me. And then I'm going to again just copy in the loop. So let's have a little look. Okay. So just like with the others, we're going to say if we're getting DM, then we're going to just say DM equals 1. Now we could, if we wanted to, instead of doing the sound motor, we could have the buttons for left and right rotation. But like I said, I want to keep it in place, ready for the next installment. So now we've got input of our dome control. Come down there. We know we're transmitting the 1, so that's fine. Nothing else should change. So I can now copy this code across. Just checking the ports. Yep, still just fine. Okay, the code's copied across. We can see it's failing to deliver its message. So let's just turn it on. There we go. It's now delivering. So if I just push forward on the controls, there we go. We can see it in the background. But obviously right now the dome isn't being told to do anything just yet. Now the other thing I'm very much aware of right now is this delay just here of half a second. I'm going to reduce that down to just a tenth of a second. I'm not even sure why I need a delay at all. I'll probably remove that in time. Okay, we can now see the message updating a lot faster than it was, and hopefully, there we go, a bit more responsive. Okay, so now we need to update the receiver code so it will actually turn the dome. So I've loaded up the last receiver one, which is obviously was our version 2. I'm going to create a new servo. Obviously it was left servo, right servo, so now we'll have DS for dome servo. That is going to come down here, and that is hooked up to D2. So D2, and making sure of course we change that to dome servo. Dome servo, so we're set to D2, then we're making sure it's going to 90 degrees, which of course should be stationary, I hope. Scroll down here, let's have a look in the code. Got the droid commands, we're receiving that for the dome commands, and now I can just hopefully copy and paste that bit. If it receives, if DM is equal to 0, then write 90. If it's equal to 1, then we're just going to say go 0. Now at this point, like I say, you could modify this code to go left and right if you wanted to, just by transmitting a -1 to 1. Really easy. But I'll just leave it for that for the moment. So now we need to copy that code across. So I've just plugged the board in straight into the USB port. Let's copy it across. Okay, so I've just noticed a bit of a glitch when we go forward with the left hand side. It's fine. When I go forward to the right hand side, it's fine. When I come backwards, it's quite glitchy. So I'm going to have to take a look at the code and see what's going on. So straight away I can see a problem, and if you watched the last video, you'll see that I was quite insistent about naming things. So I've made the same mistake as I made at the beginning of the last video, where I've called it DM for dome motor. So I'm just going to have to blitz through and call it dome DS for dome servo. So if I go through, that's fine, because that's the local variable to that structure. Come around to this bit, so again we'll change to DS, come down through here, because that's the local variable we do want to keep, that one, because that's the one that's telling it what to do. So again, if we're pressing the switch for dome servo is low, we're just going to change that. That doesn't make a difference now, but that does. That's fine. We're going to keep that one. Whereas before it was overriding it, so it was saying that our dome motor was now 0, so it was messing up the controls. So I'm just going to come back through. I think everything's fine, so I'm just going to send that code across. Okay, so that's at least working on the receiver, on the transmitter end. Okay, so let's quickly review this code. So we've got the servo, the dome servo scrolling through. I think everything's fine there. We're attaching it just fine. Yep, that's no problem. Let's come down here, receiving the commands. receiving the commands. So I did the left motor, yep, that's fine, same from last time. But if we look here, dome motor, I think that's incorrect, isn't it? That should have, oh no, that's fine, because that's the DM that it receives. We're only stopping the drive motors if we don't get a signal. We're not too worried about the dome servo. So if I come down here, if left motor, right motor, it's fine. But I forgot to copy this across. Forgot to change that one. So that was still saying turn the right servo, which is why it was still glitching. So let's copy that across and see if that fixes our little bug. Okay, so now we've got the code up and running. We can see it's still a bit glitchy, but if I just go forwards and backwards, there we go. Oh, the power bank's in the way. But now if I do the servo motor, there we go. We can see the servo is spinning for the dome. And then it stops. I think there's a bit of a glitch there, so I'm going to have to take it back apart and calibrate that servo. But it seems to be okay for now. Okay, so we've got one nice little R2D2 built fairly quickly, full control, and complete with dome controls. Oops. So if you found any part of this video useful, remember to like, subscribe, post a comment below, and see me in the next video where we'll add a remote control MP3 player to it to play the nice little R2 sounds.